G'day guys, Chaos Chronicles. All right. So I've been jotting a couple of things what we're gonna talk about, and I've got so many videos in the making right now. But right now we're going to talk about probably one of the most popular questions that I get asked, which is um, what made me turn my life around and how did I do it, and what steps did I take to ensure that I was going to change my life instead of falling back into the same old crimes again, and selling drugs and just being an outright dipshit. And so this is what I done. So I guess it all started for me. So because I'm actually classed as an SVO, which is a serious violent offender. Now, serious violent offenders all have to go through a certain regime before they are eligible for parole. So, in order to get parole, you have to do certain programs, but you most definitely have to do one program, which is called the High Intensity Violence Intervention Program, or the High VIP Violence Intervention Program. And so that is basically a 12-month course that goes for 4 to 5 days a week. And like your day starts on the course at 9 o'clock in the morning and finishes at 3 o'clock every time. And it's called the High Intense Violence Program for a reason, because it's just intense. And to be honest, I've actually done every single violence program that Corrections Victoria offers, and not one of them over my whole life as a criminal affected me at all the way that this this high violence intervention program did. Like, I can't even tell you. So it literally made me look at violence and that type of crime committing and all my gang life and just all stuff circled around violence. And they made me realize that how many people my violence affects in like a butterfly effect, a snowball effect. Not only that, they identified a lot of things that happened in my life that probably made me the way I did, and I never really cared for any of that kind of stuff at all. Like, it just didn't interest me. I never had any interest in changing my life. I did once before, and my son was put in hospital with a really bad congenital heart disease, and then my son died. And so I really hated the world after that. And like, I had stopped all that life and was really starting to put it behind me, and then we lost my son, and that just really sent me back. Didn't only send me back, but it made me a really, really violent person that didn't have any consequential thinking skills. Like, I would just lash out. And when I say violent, I was always carrying around a gun, a handgun, shotgun. When I got caught on my big one, I got caught with a shotgun and a handgun. So, you know, I quite literally, like, Scarface is my favorite movie, not just because of the gangster. It's just a really good movie, and so I suppose I kind of styled myself in that character in a way, and then that was before my son had passed away, and then when my son passed away, it just spiraled me into this downward progression that was just horrible. So what actually the course made me identify certain triggers that make me angry where nothing had ever done that before. So I guess that was the start of me wanting to change my life. And so it was something that took place when I was in jail. I just started to just shut myself away from like any people in jail that were getting me in trouble. And um I was a somebody in jail, a shot caller, if you will. And some people will dispute that, but some people will definitely say, he's telling the truth. And only my haters will dispute that. But like, it's something I'm not proud of. But I guess, well, with all that kind of stuff, I don't know. It just really made me see the bad in all that stuff that I was doing. And then, so, I stopped using drugs in jail. I stopped selling drugs in jail. I actually caught a cockatiel. So if you guys know what a cockatiel is, it's like a little parrot bird. I think they're a part of the parrot family. And anyway, he'd obviously escaped from someone. He was obviously someone's pet, but was untamed. Now, I won't go into it too much because it's actually, I'll just write that here. So his name was Willie, and he was so he actually helped me move in that direction because I had him for like 3 months. Anyway, the bird helped. I don't want to tell you anymore because it'll ruin my video. And then when I got out, like, I literally got out with nothing, like absolutely nothing. So because I was still in the bike club when I got out, I was on what's called a non-association law, which means I'm not allowed to associate with not only anyone else in my club, but anyone else in any other club that's a known member. But not only that, I wasn't allowed in any licensed premises. But all these things turned out to be a blessing in disguise when I thought that it was absolutely not that. And so they weren't going to give me parole in Victoria. So I literally had to apply to the Governor General of Victoria, the Governor General of Queensland, to get my parole moved to Queensland. And I did that. And so, I literally walked out with nothing. All I had was a check. They put away X amount of money if you work and that out of and put it in your set aside. So when you get out, you haven't got nothing, So I did sign out a few $1,000s and to my kids, Christmas presents, birthday presents, Easters, all that kind of thing. And helped out family a couple of times. And I literally had nothing. And so I guess the biggest thing that made me want to change my life was before I went to jail, like I really yearned for social acceptance, and I will call myself a social butterfly. I had, thousands of friends, I thought, and I had one person contact me the day I got out. When everyone in my group of friends knew that I was getting out that day, and I had one person contact me, and that, not gonna lie, that really hurt me. I was like, man, this really sucks, and like, I was the guy that all my friends would call on when things got tough, and I was the guy that always bring the fucking thunder with me when I came. And, it really hurt me the lengths that I had been to for some of my friends, and, how they were just willing to forget about me. And so that was the start of my trajectory into that direction. And I guess, I knew that I needed to cut off that circle of friends, but I needed to sort out my bike club stuff before anything. And like, it's not something you can just walk away from. And because of my parole conditions, it made it really, really hard. And so anyway, I started making steps towards that. I made it known that I was leaving, and did whatever I needed to do before I did that. But I literally thought I had it all under wraps. Like, I thought it was all sweet, and everything was all sweet. And then when I got taken off parole, it just lifted. I guess for nearly 10 years, I had all these conditions on me that were controlling my life, and what I was allowed to do and not allowed to do. And I guess I had none. And so, I just started partying and getting into trouble. And it wasn't until after that I realized that most of my friends were fake and only there when the times were good and when things were good, if you get what I'm saying. And um, I guess I just I just said that I needed to get away from it all. So I literally moved myself away to where I knew no one, and I knew that what I needed to do was get away from everyone. If anyone that was going to be a trigger to me getting in trouble was taken away from my circle of friends. And I literally shut myself off because, you know, um, although drugs before I went to jail wasn't an issue, drugs in prison was a big issue for me. And I got a Suboxone addiction in jail, which is putrid. I'm so embarrassed about that, but it happened, and which opened other pathways and doorways to me, which weren't open to me before I went to prison. So I really had all these things going up against me, and I ended up starting my own business. The parole board paid for me to get my crane license and my riggers and doggers ticket. And so I did that. And I actually went Harveys with this guy and we started my own business. I was driving Franners, which are like crane trucks. And this guy owned the truck when we started it. And so anyway, I was meeting these people on job sites going, "Oh, mate, do you work for Earl?" And I was going, "Yeah, why?" And they were all saying, "Mate, he's going to rip you off." And I'm going, "Nah, no way, man. This guy goes to church every Sunday. It makes me pray in the truck." And it's like, I was like, no way this guy is going to rip me off. And he did, big time. And I lost everything. So um, when I got out, I also didn't mention that my main priority when I got out was to get custody of my children. So I had 3 boys that were living with their mother, and I wanted to have them in my custody. So that was the first thing I did. And one of my kids was living with his mother, and his mother's had child protection involved, which really horrified me a bit. But anyway, it happened. I couldn't do nothing about it. I was in prison. But anyway, my youngest son was getting in trouble, and people were saying, if you don't come and get him, he was under a child protection order. And anyway, I literally just flew down on the plane. I told my parole I was going to do it, and I went and picked him up, and we flew him back to Queensland. I had child protection say that I broke the law. I said, no, no, I didn't. I'm not on that child protection order, and he's my son, and I can take him fucking anywhere. And you dipshits are supposed to be looking after him right now, and he's getting in trouble and getting hurt. So he's safe with his dad. So that's what I did. So, excuse me. Basically, I got my kids 3 months after I got out. I got one of my boys a month after I got out, and then the 2 boys probably 2 months after that. So within 3 months of being out of jail for doing over 8.5 years, I had custody of all my children. So that obviously helped me as well. And so in this time I was partying and going out and being a bit of a scallywag, I'll say. And hang on, I'm going to try and fix the. I was being a bit of a scallywag, I'll say, and one of my sons said to me, "If you take drugs again, Dad, like we're going to go and we're not coming back." And that was a big thing to me. I felt so ashamed that my kid had to say that to me, but that pushed me in the right direction as well. And they are things that I'm ashamed of, but I say it all the time, guys. If my videos can show people that are so deeply entrenched in that criminal life, if those people can see my videos and see that it is actually possible, that I'm telling the truth. It is hard to get away, but it absolutely can be done. It is the truth, guys. And, I always say that if I help out one kid in my whole life to walk away from the life, well, then my job is done and I'm doing something positive for once. And I really feel like this is my way to contribute back to society, which I've never really done before, and I'm proud of that. And I've already helped, to date, 3 or 4 people move away from that life, help them out when it's needed, and that's a very humbling feeling. And I guess, if I had to narrow it down after going and telling you in a broad spectrum what I did. So it really boils down to this. Um, you, even though my kids said that to me, I would have never have not taken drugs again if I didn't want to do that myself. All right. So number one, bang, tick your name. I need to do this for myself. And once you realize you need to do that for yourself, it's going to make it so much easier. And then I had the added incentive of my children saying they were going to walk out. You know, they were 15, 13 at the time. It was bad. I felt like a scumbag. And so, anyway, that's what I did. I still had money there, and I spent the money from my ill-gotten gains on the best thing I ever spent my money on, and I imported American Bully XLs. I did buy 3 to start with, and so my 2 females were fighting. So my eldest son has got one of my females, but I have my male. He's a big boy. He's 65 kilos. He's an absolute monster. He's only 2 years old, so plenty of growing. And that helped me a lot too, right? So we actually got Zeus. Enough. We actually got Zeus as kind of like a service dog for me. I actually have multiple sclerosis as well, which I got diagnosed when I was in jail. And obviously, you know, I'm writing all these ideas. I'm going to do a video on how I got diagnosed with MS while I was in jail, which also helped to change my life because I don't have a good type of MS, so it's progressive and it's only getting worse. And I just knew that I really had to change my life. And not only that, I'm looking at a photo of myself right now. I knew that I needed to change weight. I got out of jail. I went into jail at 80 kilos and I came out of jail. I was on the run. I wasn't eating properly. Rah, rah, rah. My normal weight is 90 kilos. So I lost 10 kilos. But I ended up walking out of jail at 137 kilos with type 2 diabetes. And that itself made me want to change my life as well. But the main number one thing that you have to do is you have to cut off that circle of friends that you know are triggers. It doesn't matter how loyal you are to them and how loyal they are to you. If they are real friends, they will understand you stepping away for your children. And if they don't understand that, and if there's any issue, well, then you know what you have to do in that scenario. You know what I mean? Night, Shazzy. Bye-bye. Night, night. And just get them out of there. And, you know, if your kids' faces aren't enough incentive every single day to get you off the drugs, well, then not much is going to do it. And also, like I said, you're going to have to want to do it for yourself. But also, you're going to need to get a hobby and you're going to need to just keep yourself motivated. I got into social media, and that's been the best thing that ever happened to me. And it really has. A lot of you people probably don't know, but I got out of jail. I've always enjoyed the paranormal. I got myself some paranormal equipment, and I ended up becoming, in 3 months of starting a TikTok, the biggest TikTok paranormal investigator in Australia. I've got 175,000 followers. So my TikTok name is Big Biff's Haunted Stuff. And then I've also got Big Biff's Life of Mayhem on TikTok as well. So yeah, and they really helped, and I started doing live paranormal investigations, and I really just wanted to find out more about that myself. People told me to do it on live. I did it on live. It blew up. It was massive. But then it really got me down a little bit because the high school mentality of TikTok, and then they banned all my videos. So I was like, nah, I'm done here. And yeah, here I am on YouTube, loving it, loving every bit of like interaction from you guys, all my subscribers. I must have the best subscribers on YouTube, and I'm not just saying that, like, I really believe it. Check out my comment section, it says it all. We already have like a rapport. I love it. And you guys know, if you write to me in the comments, I'm going to get back to you, as long as it's not offensive and you haven't offended me or anyone else in the comments. I will say it, you know. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's that video, guys, and that's how I walked away, and that's how I've kept away. And you guys right there are playing a part in keeping me away right now. So thank you so much. I love and respect you guys so much for that, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. That's not an empty comment. Like, I really mean that. You guys have helped me change my life in a big way. Um, which leads me to say what I always say, guys. If you haven't shot me a follow, jump up there and shoot me a subscribe. That would be very much appreciated. Also, if you hit that bell, you will never miss one of my videos. I've got videos booked in for nearly every day this week, so we're not missing a day this week. We are not missing a day from now on, whether it's just me posting a short or posting a video. But basically, from Wednesday till Sunday night, I will be posting videos, and I'll probably do shorts on those other days. But yeah, the Wednesday till Sunday is going to be the big video days like these ones, and then other days I'll just try and do shorts and shorter videos. I don't want to bog you all with all this stuff all at once. And yeah, but I just want to say so much love and respect to you guys for helping me get to where I am today. I just really mean it, and so much love and respect. And yeah, if you could chuck me a subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Hit that bell so you never miss one. And also chuck a comment in there, guys. I will do my utmost to get my utmost blah, my utmost best to get back to you guys in an ASAP kind of manner. I generally get back to everyone within 2 or 3 days. I'm trying to go back in the last month and go through any that I've missed. So I will definitely get back to you. But yeah, thank you guys. I've been Biff. This is the Chaos Chronicles, Memoirs of Mayhem. And you guys have been absolutely awesome. Much love and respect. Let's go, guys. I'm loving this.